Hello and welcome to day one of the 5-day Sun Salutations Challenge. In today's video, I'm going to be talking you through Sun Salutation A. In Sanskrit, we call this Surya Namaskar A. That means Sun Salutation A. Whenever you're ready, let's get started. To begin, I'd like you to come to the top of your mat, so somewhere about here, but I'm going to stand here just so that you can see what I'm doing. So Samastitihi means equal standing pose, and it's the posture that we're going to return to after each sun salutation. So it's really important that we get this one right. We're going to stand with the big toes together and the heels apart, or if that feels a little bit strange for you, just take your feet hip width apart. I prefer this one personally. And then spread your toes down onto the mat and feel that the bases of each of your toes is grounding into the mat beneath you. Then lift the inner arch of your foot. As you do this, you might start to feel the muscles on the inside of your leg switch on. That's a good feeling. If you can't feel it, then just imagine that it's happening. Okay, and then start to feel your quadriceps, the muscles at the front of your thighs, feel them engage and lift up the kneecaps. Again, if you're not really feeling it, just imagine it and it will start to happen over time. Then I want you to switch on your lower belly, so the space beneath your belly. That means rather than standing with your tailbone sticking out like this, we want to switch this muscle on down here so that you become into more of a neutral position for the lower back. So there's still a little bit of a curve, but we're not sticking out the tailbone. We're nice and engaged through the core. That's going to help to protect your spine as we move through the sun salutation. So really important movement there. And from here, I want you to imagine that you're grounding down through the legs, through the pelvis, and then lengthening the spine up through the crown of the head. Now notice I don't mean lengthening and lifting the chin. I actually keep the chin slightly tucked in so that the back of the neck is long. And then roll the shoulders up to the ears, let them drop down your back, and just slightly turn out the arms so that you feel the space across the front of the chest expand. Lovely. So just let's go through those cues once more. Toes are spread, pressing down into the floor, inner arches lift, and then push the floor away with your feet, engage up through the legs. Switch on your lower belly. You can even feel like lifting your pelvic floor to help you engage this whole deep core area, and then lengthen your spine through the crown of the head. Shoulders looped back and down. Arms slightly turned out. And then gently close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. So the breath is a very important part, if not the most important part of the Ashtanga Yoga practice. And the technique that we're going to use now is called Ujjayi breath, or Ujjayi breathing, means the victorious breath. So breathing through your nose. Try to make your inhale and your exhale equal in length. And then start to create a sound with your breath. So it's going to sound something like this. A little bit like the ocean waves, or if you like, you can imagine placing your hand in front of your face and fogging up a mirror with your breath. But then keep the mouth closed and do exactly the same thing. That's the kind of sound that we want to create. And we do that by just closing off slightly, creating a bit of resistance at the back of the throat. So let's try a few deep breaths like this. Very nice. Continue to breathe in that way, in and out through the nose. Now I'm going to introduce you to the first movement of the sun salutation, and that is raising the arms up above the head. So just watch me to begin, and then we're going to practice it together. And the way that we're going to build our sequence is step by step. So I will introduce one movement, we'll practice that a few times, and then we'll start to add different movements on to create a sequence, okay? So you're standing in Samastitihi, and we're going to synchronize the movement of our body with our breath. So the first movement looks something like this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then just from the side, inhale. Exhale. So we're just raising the arms up above the head as we inhale. And as we finish the inhale, the palms touch. And as we exhale, the hands come back down. And one thing to notice, what I'm doing with my chin when I look up, I'm not just letting my head hang back, but I'm actually using the muscles in my neck to create the lift. Okay, so watch that again. Just the movement with the neck. And then the head and the chin will move at the same time as the arms. Okay, let's do that together. Standing in Samastitihi, you'll be at the front of your mat. Deep breaths. Inhale, turn your palms out, raise your arms and look up. Exhale, lower the arms, lower the gaze, and lower the chin. Let's do that again. Inhale, turn the palms out, raise the arms, look up. Exhale, lower the arms, lower the gaze, and lower the chin. Good. Let's add on another movement. Again, watching me to begin, and then we'll do it together. Okay. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, lower the arms, bend the knees, and fold forwards at the hips, keeping the spine nice and long. Then I'll just stay here for a few breaths, making sure I'm not hunching the back too much, but instead I keep the knees bent so that I can feel my spine is nice and long. Then inhale, push through the feet, stand up, raise the arms and look to the thumbs. Exhale, back to Samastitihi. Okay, let's have a go together. Inhale, turn the palms out, raise the arms, look up. Exhale, lower the arms, bend your knees and fold forwards. Think of lengthening your spine down towards the floor. Let your hands dangle towards the mat. Don't worry if they actually touch or not. Good, stay a few deep breaths here. Then, strong core, inhale, push into the feet. Lift yourself up, raise your arms. Exhale, lower the arms to Samastitihi. Very nice. Okay, so all we've added on is a forward fold. So just be mindful when you fold forwards. You want the movement to happen here at the hips rather than at the spine, okay? So think about what we did in Samastitihi, where we kept this muscle switched on to protect the lower back. Keep that muscle switched on as you fold forwards, and just think about folding at the hips. Bend the knees as much as you need to feel like there's length through the back, okay? Now we're going to add on one more movement onto the end of that sequence after we fold forward. So watching me, inhale, arms up. Exhale, but bend forwards, lengthen the spine, relax the hands and relax the neck. Inhaling now, I'm going to come onto my fingertips and look up. Exhale, I'm going to fold back. One more time, inhaling, come onto the fingertips. And exhale, fold back. And then inhale, push through the feet, raise the arms, look up. Exhale, lower the arms, Samastitihi. Good. So what I was doing, I was in my forward fold position, nice strong core. Then inhale, I come onto the fingertips so that I can flatten out my back even more and lengthen my spine. Now, if your fingertips don't quite reach the mat, just bring them onto your shins, on your hands onto your shins, and work on it from here. So I would inhale and then exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, push, lift the arms, look up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Okay, let's do that together. Inhale, raise your arms, look up. Exhale, lower the arms, bend the knees, fold forwards. Relax the neck. Inhale, look up. Come onto your fingertips or your shins. Exhale, fold forwards again. Feel the spine relax down to the floor. Inhale, look up and lengthen again. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, push back to standing. Arms come up. Samastitihi, lower the arms. Really nice. Okay, now we're going to add on one more movement, and it involves stepping back onto all fours into a plank position. So let me show you from the floor to begin. From our folded position, we're going to inhale, lengthen the spine, then exhale, press the hands into the floor. So if your hands are quite far away from the mat, that might mean you have to really go into a squat to place the hands on the floor. Then we push the floor away, step one foot back, step the other foot back. And this is our high plank position. Drop to the knees and then just relax. Okay, we're going to add that onto our sequence and then pause there to look at the next few poses on the mats. All right, so Samastitihi, deep Ujjayi breathing with sound. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, fold forwards. Keep the spine long and the belly sucked in. Inhale, lengthen your spine, look up. Exhale, bend your knees, place your hands down, push the floor away, and step back to high plank. Drop to your knees, and then just push back onto your heels so that you can look towards me. Now the next movement is called Chaturanga. We're going to look at a few different options for this as we move through the 5-day challenge. But for today, we're going to come down onto our knees and then lower to the floor. Okay, so it looks something like this. We've folded forwards. Inhale, look up. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back, come to the knees. And then, keeping the core nice and strong, we're going to bend the elbows and lower all the way down to the floor, nice and slowly. Okay, let me show you that one more time. So we were in our high plank position. The core is nice and strong, pushing the floor away. Exhale, drop to the knees. Keep the elbows tucked into the side of the body and lower all the way down to the floor. Okay, let's do that from Samastitihi. I'm going to talk you through. So inhaling, raise the arms, look up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, look up. Exhale, plant the hands and step back. Good. Drop to the knees. Take an inhale here. Belly strong. Exhale, lower down. And relax. Well done. Okay. The next movement, we're just going to slightly lift the chest into what's called Cobra position. So here we're trying to open the upper chest and the back, and we're going to work up to the full version of this, which is upward facing dog, throughout the next few days, okay? So from our high plank, we're going to exhale to lower down. Then take the feet hip width apart and point the toes. Inhale, lift the chest off the floor and drag your hands backwards as you reach your chest forwards. Okay, so it's like I'm doing this on the mat, but my hands don't move because of the friction. And then exhale, relax down. One more time, we're going to inhale, drag the hands back, push into the floor, lift the chest. And exhale, lower back down. So if you haven't already done that with me, let's go from high plank. So inhale here, exhale, lower the legs. Inhale, and exhale, lower down. Tops of the feet down. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower down. One more time. Inhale, lift the chest. Drag the heart forwards and the hands backwards. And exhale, lower down. Okay, stay where you are. And let me just show you how we're going to transition back into the next pose, which is downward facing dog, which I'm sure you've all heard of before. So from our Cobra position, we inhale, lift the chest. Then we're going to push the floor away, switch on the core, bend the knees, and from here, tuck the toes under, push the floor away, lift the hips into downward dog. Okay, once more from Cobra position. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, push the floor away, tuck the toes, and lift up the hips. And we're in downward dog. Does that make sense? Let's have a go from Samasthiti. So we're starting to make it into a nice sequence now. Ujjayi breath. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, fold forwards, bend the knees and relax the neck. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, push the floor away, step back to high plank and then drop the knees. Inhale here to prepare. Exhale, keep the core strong, bend the elbows and lower down. Inhale, tops of the feet down, lift the chest, drag the heart forwards as you pull the hands back. Exhale, push the floor away, come onto the knees, tuck the toes, and then lift up to downward dog. And drop to your knees. Let's just have a look at this very important pose, downward facing dog. Okay, so when you come back onto your knees from your Cobra position, you're in the perfect position for downward dog. So with your shoulders over your wrists and your knees under your hips, if you just tuck the toes here and lift up, you should be in a really nice stance for your downward dog. What you want to look for with your hands is have them roughly shoulder width, maybe a little bit wider, and spread the fingers wide so that you can push the floor away with your hands. That way we're strengthening up through the arms and the shoulders. Okay, so what that looks like again, push the floor away and then push the hips back towards the back of your mat. And you'll notice here, I've got a bend in my knees because what we're most concerned with in downward dog is that we get the position of the spine right and that we get a nice lengthening of the spine. Okay, so we're less worried about getting the heels down to the floor and having lovely straight legs. Think length through the spine, and once you have that, your heels will drop down over time. Okay, so let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift up. Hips back, bend in the knees so that your spine is nice and straight. Push the floor away. And then gently tuck your chin towards your chest so that the back of the neck is long. In this pose, we're going to stay for 5 breaths. If it becomes too much for your shoulders, you can drop down to your knees and just take a breather for a few breaths until you feel ready to start again. Okay? And from here, all we've got to do now is get back to Samasthiti. So just drop to your knees and look towards me whilst I show you this movement. We're going to step forward. So if you don't quite get the foot all the way to the hands, maybe you come to here, that's fine. You can pick your foot up and just give yourself a little bit of help. Okay? If it's too hard to step that far, just start to walk the feet forwards until you reach your hands. Then here we're going to inhale, look up, and exhale, fold forwards. You already know that movement. Inhale, push through the legs, come back up. Exhale, back to Samasthiti. Okay, let's do that together. I'm going to talk you through. So we're in downward facing dog, fingers spread wide, push the floor away, lengthen the spine, and then look forwards, bend your knees, step one foot, and then the other, back to the front of your mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, come back to standing, raise your arms, look up. Exhale, back to Samasthiti. Take a few deep breaths. Great job. So now we're going to move through that sequence a few times. That's just one complete sun salutation. The tradition is to do 5 in a row, and then over time you'll start to make it into a daily habit. Okay, let's try 4 more together today so that you can start to memorize the sequence and get to know it a little better. Okay, so come back to Samasthiti. Switch on that lovely Ujjayi breathing. Remember, spread the toes, press through the bases of the toes, lift the inner arch, engage through the legs and draw in the lower belly. Nice long spine with the shoulders looped back and down, and deep Ujjayi breaths. Inhale, raise the arms, look up. Exhale, fold forwards, bending the knees, nice long spine. Inhale, lengthen your spine, look forwards. Exhale, hands on the floor, push back to high plank position. Drop your knees. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lower down. Tops of the feet on the floor. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, push back onto the knees, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. 5 deep breaths. Two, push the floor away to lengthen your spine. Feel like the nice strong shoulders to support your torso. And you can gently move your chest down towards your knees, even if it doesn't feel like it will ever reach. And 5, look forwards, bend your knees, step one foot and then the other, and inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale, raise your arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, step back to high plank. Core strong, lower to your knees. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, bend the elbows and lower down to the floor. Tops of the feet down. Inhale, Cobra. Pull your heart through your hands. Exhale, push back to the knees and lift up to downward dog. Bent knees will help you to keep your spine straight. So if you really feel like you're rounding, take a deeper bend in the knees, push the floor away and send the hips towards the back of your mat. 3, 4, 5. Step to the front. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come back up. Samasthiti. We've got 2 more. Inhale, raise your arms. Exhale, forward fold. Nice long spine, neck is relaxed. Inhale, look up. Exhale, step back. Come to your knees. Inhale, prepare, push the floor away, belly button in. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Push back to the knees, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Push the floor away with your hands spread wide And try to drop the shoulders away from the ears. 3, remember you can always take a break on your knees if you need. 4, 5, step or walk forwards. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come back up. Samastitihi. Last one. Inhale, raise your arms. Exhale, fold forwards. Keep the belly drawn in, spine is long. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, hands down, step back to high plank. Drop to your knees. Inhale to prepare. Switch your core on, push the floor away. Exhale, bend the elbows and lower down. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, push back and lift up to downward dog. One, 2, 3. If you're feeling like your back is staying nice and straight, then you can start to drop the heels back towards the floor behind you. Just try not to round through your spine as you do this. Bend your knees, look forward, step or walk to the front of your mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, push through the feet, come back up and raise the arms. Exhale, Samastitihi. Close your eyes and just take a few deep breaths here. Just allow your heart rate and your breathing to slow down. Feel the temperature of the air on your body, on your skin. And then when you're ready, you can gently open the eyes. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a lovely rest of the day, and I'll see you here tomorrow for day 2.